Hey, Wise Pineapples, welcome back to the Yes Show. Today, we're doing something a little different and a whole lot of fun. This episode is called Five in Five. Five hot hospitality topics in 5 minutes each. Fast, focused, and full of insights you can put into action right away. And I couldn't think of a better guest to join me for this than one of our most popular and, let's be honest, one of the most fun guests we've had on the show, Mark Irgang. If you remember, Mark is a 35 plus year hospitality powerhouse, currently leading the brand new 360 room Marriott at JFK Airport, where he just won Marriott's most prestigious award, including Hotel Opening of the Year and the Mustang Award. He also serves as the president of SKAL International USA, the world's largest travel and tourism networking association. And trust me, if you didn't catch his last interview here on the Yes Show, it was so juicy, we had to split it into 2 episodes. That's right, episodes 42 and 43. I'll drop the links in the show notes too, so you can binge those after this one. So grab your notepad because in the next 25 minutes, you're going to get a rapid fire download on the 5 biggest issues shaping hospitality right now. Let's dive into 5 in 5 with Mark Irgang. Welcome to the Yes Show. I'm your host, Christine Trippi. Each week, we'll explore the life-changing power of saying yes, along with hotel leadership made easy. Get ready for inspiration, fun, and sweet hospitality. Let's go. All right, Mark, let's get this 5 for 5 started. So, my first question for you, because I specifically picked this for you, I don't know anybody who is more involved in everything than you are. You're running a #1 hotel in New York City. You're the president of SKAL. You're selling weight loss coaching. I mean, you you are just amazing. But how do you handle it all? Let's talk about leadership burnout and what
Yeah,
is the #1 shift that leaders can make to prevent burnout in 2025? What do you think?
yeah,
What do you
no, that's
do?
yeah, I think you know what it's just like being on a airplane and they tell you before you put the oxygen on your baby to put it on yourself. Honestly, that's the first thing that came to my mind when you asked me
Mhm.
that question is you have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
And I know your inclination as a, listen, you're the perfect example of someone who's like doing 80 things at the same time and you're all over the place. But Christine has to take care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
Mark needs to take care because I'm not going to be of any value if I don't take care of myself.
Right.
So,
For sure.
yeah. So I try to, put myself in a very good mental, physical state. Like I know it's hard for both of us to decompress when we're off away from work. But I've actually, to your question, I've tried to do more of that recently. So I've started to pick up golf again because that was something
Oh.
that I like to do. I just never really have the time, like you, to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good at it, but it's something that I enjoy doing. So I've been playing more, and I've been going to the driving range, trying to practice more, and by doing that, I feel better about myself, and it makes me when I come to work, I'm just in a better state,
Yes.
and I think we all have to do that. Also, I think just managing your time, not getting caught up in minutia stuff. I mean, I remember one of my GMs telling me, I didn't hire you to do the actual task. I hired you to manage others to do the task. And
Yes.
and that's a hard lesson for people like us to learn because we're so type A personalities and we want to do the task and we know humbly that we could do the task probably better than anyone. But when you do the task, you lose the bigger picture focus. So don't get caught up in the minutia. Be more, big picture. And I think that will help as well. Um,
Yes. Well, I want to jump in on that one
yeah,
because that's kind of the key of what I want to bring to that question is that we want to spend time today on things that will save time tomorrow. This is how you multiply your time. This is something that really got put in my mind from Roy Vaden. And if you want to multiply your time so you can have time to golf and be the president of SKAL and run a number one hotel in New York City, then you've got to be able to, like you're saying, delegate, lead the process, but not do the process. And I'll give one quick example. And I'm watching our time. We're on 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll give one quick example that this is just a simple way to put this out there to multiply your time. Let's just say, for example, you do the schedule every week. Okay. Now, is it ultimately important that you do it or just that it gets done? Just that it gets done.
right.
Now, if I spend an hour teaching my my direct report, my person that's leading to me, the how to do the schedule and putting together a binder and how the schedule works and everyone's availability, then let's just say you spend an hour every week on doing the schedule. You've just saved yourself 52 hours in a whole year. And the more things you can do today to help you save time tomorrow, that's how you're going to multiply your time and get more done.
I agree, and I know we're going to run out of time, but
Yeah.
I that's okay.
No, you got it.
I could use this for another question, but there's a great tool that I learned, and it's called a matrix of responsibilities. And what it is it's a way of allocating tasks. And real quick, what it is you divvy up all the tasks that need to be done, like you were saying, the schedule,
Yes.
and you find the person who, is the number one person doing that. And then what you do is you give that person three assignments. One, to do the task every day, two, to create what I call the CBM, and I may have mentioned this in a past, meeting, but CBM stands for current best method, and
Oh.
that's the new term instead of using SOP. And the reason,
Oh,
SOP, throw it out the window, Christine. This is throw it out
I
because
love that.
no, seriously, when you walk in, think about it. So imagine a manager walking into Marriott and it's your first day and you get this book of SOPs. You don't feel like you could change those because it's Marriott. This is the Bible. Like this is what made Marriott Marriott. But when you change it to CBMs, meaning current best method, meaning this is currently the best way we know how to do something. But hey, we encourage you. If you know a better way, let us
Add.
know. So by changing it simply from SOP to CBM, you now are encouraging people to suggest ways of making things better. So again, whoever's the number one does the task. Number two creates the CBM, how to do the task. And three is responsible for training their backup, which is the number two person. And the reason why this is I'm telling you right now, if anyone takes away anything from this conversation today, it's take this and implement it.
Yes.
Because now what you've just created is you have the person doing the task, but this is what happens in a hotel. The person who's responsible, I'll use a simple example, for ordering uniforms. That person goes on vacation, right? So Christine is now on the beach in Aruba and the housekeeper rips her blouse, cleaning the room. So now the housekeeper goes to her manager and says, hey, I need a new blouse. You know what? 99 out of 100 hotels, and you may think I'm crazy, but this is true. 99 out of 100 hotels will say, oh, I'm so sorry. Christine, who orders the uniforms, is not here. As soon as she gets back, we'll order you a uniform. Once you say that, you have just killed your relationship and your morale, because now the housekeeper walks away thinking, A, my managers are disorganized. Like, how does it that no one else knows how to do this? B, I'm insulted because you're okay with me cleaning a room with a ripped shirt. And C, you're not really showing a lot of empathy, love to me. You're just basically saying like, hey, Christine's in Aruba. What do you want me to do? What this system will do is by having the number one create the policy and train their backup, when Mark goes to Aruba and someone needs something that I am the number one for, guess what? They just go to the matrix, and this is not a secret. This is something you post up. So I go and I look and I see, oh, the number two is Christine. So now I go to Christine and I go, Christine, I ripped my blouse. Can you order it? Oh yeah, 100%. Mark trained me how to do it. I could do it. And guess what? I am so happy because I'm on the beach drinking my pina colada, and I know that I'm not missing a beat. And there's a business book term for this, and what it's called is the eyelash effect. You don't want the eyelash effect because the eyelash effect is I guess it's a graph that shows that when the person is not there, things go down, and then when they come back, they go back up. So it's like an eyelash, like an
Yeah,
eye,
blinking.
blinking the eye kind of
Yeah.
thing. So they call it the eyelash effect. So this is a way where your home base, whatever your business, whatever, will not miss a beat, and you can not only relax more when you're away, but
Mhm.
your results will continue to stay high end.
Yes, I have so much to add to that, but I absolutely love CBM. Say the acronym again, CBM.
CBM, current
Current
best
best
method.
method. Yeah, method.
Method.
Okay, I love it. Now, just as a offhand, we went 7 minutes.
Sorry.
No, no, no.
I screwed up on the first one.
No, it was too good. It was too juicy to interrupt. So that was really good. But I was worried that 5 minutes might be too long.
Do you know who
um,
you're talking to?
but yes, exactly. Both of us.
I know,
So
I know.
next one, I'm going to set the Siri alarm. Okay,
All right,
that's
go
what I'm
ahead.
going to
Go
do.
for it. Go for it.
Okay, we're working out our first 5 for 5. We're working out our
Right.
first 5 for 5.
That's it.
Thank
That's
you.
it. This is warm up. We gotta, gotta get
Yes.
better at it.
Yes, this is warm up. Okay, the next question, and then I'll set the alarm,
Okay.
is I'll let you know just so you can think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
Are we training leaders or just promoting managers? What's the real gap in today's hotel leadership pipeline? I can go on for
Yeah.
hours on this one, but I'm going to set the alarm. Set alarm for 5 minutes.
So great question. And I hate to say it, but I think we are doing more of promoting managers, which is not a good thing. And
Mm-hmm.
we need to get more into the training of leaders. And the example I just gave you of the allocation of tasks and all that stuff, that's a perfect tool to give someone so they can, become a future leader because that's going to make them more effective, things like that. Um, I think what we need to do is we need to make sure that the people who walk in every day are not just going through the motions. There has to be like a serious interaction to create leaders. So, for example, when's the last time a front desk manager walked in, had their stand up meeting, and said, "Does anyone have any issues that I can help you with today?" Like that's like a simple question, but it very rarely gets asked.
Right.
And what I've learned over my years is when you ask that question, people will say, "Hey, printer number 3 doesn't work, or we're out of pens, or there's a problem with the computer. It goes on and off." And so I used to have a system. I mean, we all call it different things, but I called it the whiteboard principle, where you use the whiteboard and you would write down, like basically when they gave you the issues, you would write it down, and you divvied it up between two things. One is anything that's a quick fix, and anything that will, like if someone said, "Hey, can you call Marriott and see if they can change the software to do XYZ instead of ABC?" Well, you're not going to fix that in a day. So that was
Right.
like that was a long-term project. But
Mm-hmm.
the quick fix could be getting a uniform or getting a new printer or whatever. So I would have that conversation every day, and the person who was leading that meeting really, needs, like, was a leader because they're listening, they're engaging, and oh, by the way, you're probably wondering when you brought up, like, which is a quick fix and which is a long-term
Yes.
project. Guess how we figured out who to assign those issues to be fixed? By the matrix of allocated tasks, because on your matrix it had this person's in charge of IT, this person's in charge of uniforms. So what we would do is we'd write, okay, so you say you want a new printer or the printer's broken. So I would see that Mark Irgang was the IT manager and he was
Mm-hmm.
the number one. So I would assign it to Mark because he's the IT person on the allocation on the matrix, and I would put like a due date. So what was great about that is now the person who brought it up knows, oh, I just need to get updates from Mark because he's the one working on it. Because in our business, if someone brought that up, you'd say, all right, thanks for letting me know. I'll look into it. But you don't know
Yes.
who's looking into it. Am I looking into it? Am I assigning it to someone? Now
Right.
you know specifically who's responsible for it. And it just made people feel like there's a plan here. Someone's working on it, and I know it's Mark. And if I need any updates, I get it from Mark. And what you do is after you accomplish let's say you get the printer or you fix the software, you would move the issue down to another section of the whiteboard, which was called accomplishments. So you can
Mhm.
remind your staff throughout the year all the things you did for them that they
Yes.
requested. And if you want to take it to the next level, this is what makes you a number one hotel, is you now have all these accomplishments. Guess what? I would take the list of accomplishments and I'd put it on a like a blow up chart, like I get it printed up like at the local printer, and it would have a list of all the accomplishments. I put it on an easel in front of the front office or whatever, and so we all know every hotel does employee engagement surveys. And
Hmm.
normally when an employee fills out a survey, the one thing they're thinking of is Christine didn't give me last weekend off, so I'm going to give you a bad score. What
Right.
I did, yeah. So what I did is I wanted to make sure not to brainwash them, but I wanted to remind them because
Yes.
they forget what I did in January and now it's August. So I wanted to remind them, hey, we got new uniforms. I got extra linen for the housekeepers. I got I got three new printers. Or we did things that they asked us to do, and
Yes.
they remember and they go, oh, I remember. Yeah, Mark did that, or the hotel did that, and they feel better about the hotel. Your scores go up because people feel good.
100%. Also, you can use that like we forget what we've done too.
Correct.
So we're also like when we're interviewing for that next promotion and you're trying to think of your stars, when you're keeping your file about you and that's our button. I'll just finish that thought. When you're
Yeah.
keeping your file, it's your awesome file. So now you go into that interview with some great stars of my team was broken here. This is what we did. Here's our results. And you can also use it for their own reviews that you're writing for your team members of who took those projects to the next level. Oh, I had so much more on that one. Okay, this is fun.
All right.
My friends out there listening, are you having fun? Do you like this 5 for 5? Should we keep doing this? Okay, the next question is, are we over obsessed with loyalty programs? Do they really drive loyalty or are they just discounts in disguise? I'm going to tee this one up first, if that's all right. Okay.
Go for it.
Because I
Go
want
for
to
it.
hear what you have to say about what
Okay.
I'm thinking. Okay. Set alarm for 5 minutes. Okay, it's going.
All
I didn't
right.
think my alarm was going last time. What I want to say here is yes, loyalty programs do drive business. They are so critical. And I agree that most of the brands are making this one of their top priorities right now, and it should be. However, if we are just giving away status when you sign up for a credit card program, if everybody is a platinum, nobody is a platinum. Yes or yes?
I know.
But you're probably experiencing it right now in your hotel where you've probably got so many platinum,
Mhm.
titanium, and ambassadors every day. How
Yeah.
do you make them feel special when there's so many? Go.
Great. Yeah. Great $1 million question. Great $1 million question. So let me share with you. Well, first off, yes, I agree with you. I mean, it does drive loyalty because people are just, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but they're point whores, like, you know what I mean? They want their points. They want their
I
points. I get it.
do.
I get it. No, and these programs are good.
Yes.
And I can answer your other question, which you mentioned. How do these other hotels do it? Well, I know as a fact that the hotels, what they do is they join like these general programs.
Mhm.
Like someone will have they'll have 5 hotels and they'll join like preferred hotels of America and they'll get access to points through this bigger system. So that's how they do it. But
Yeah, got
anyway,
it.
but as far as loyalty, I want to make a note of this because this is important for people to hear. What are the 5 reasons why people return to a hotel? So why are they loyal to a hotel?
Right.
Number one, the hotel provides a sense of well-being. That's number one. Number two, cleanliness of the hotel. Number three, they feel as if you want them as a guest. Number four, uh, staff generally genuinely cares for you. And five is the cleanliness specifically of their guest room. So
Mhm.
three of those five are like attitude things, like we are providing a sense of well-being. We care for you. It's sincere, all that, genuinely,
Yes.
all that. So it's really important to let your staff know that the attitude of you to the guest is vital. I mean, that's like, I know it sounds
Hmm.
simple, but it's important. And then to equate that to money, for every 1 percentage point increase in overall satisfaction, they say it's a 2.5% increase in RevPAR, a
Mm.
a 5% increase in customer loyalty, they say results in 25 to 85% in profit. And they say the cost of acquiring a new customer instead of, because you want to keep them
Yes.
coming back, but the
Big.
cost of attracting a new customer um, is 5 to 20 times more expensive than maintaining the ones you have. So it's really important to share that with your team because
Alarm
those
is
are,
going off, but
that's
wait.
it.
You
That's
have
it.
to finish that thought.
No, no, no. I'm saying because then they'll understand that how important it is because now you're attaching financials to the importance of loyalty.
Yes, and I'm not letting you get away with this. What do you think about selling status?
What do you mean?
Well, you know how like if you sign up for this credit card, you're going to get automatic platinum. If you're going to get
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, I don't really love that. I think it's kind of bastardizing the system, but we know why they do it. They're trying to make a
Mhm.
sale. But you're right. Then what happens is, like to your point about platinums, when I started with Marriott, we won't mention how many years ago. The if I had a platinum coming to my hotel, it was like Mr. Marriott was coming to your hotel. Now you're right. Every person is a gold, platinum,
Right.
so it's lost its pizzazz and all
Right.
that.
And my
And yeah,
ultimate point on that is the customer is upset about it.
yeah,
The
yeah, they are.
customer doesn't get the special feeling because
Yeah,
there's 100 other platinums. You're not special. So that's
you're right.
I think that we're diluting the loyalty program in general with buying
Yeah.
status or selling
You're
status.
No, you're right. And it puts that much more pressure on the hotel team to personalize and customize the
Yes.
the the stay for the guest because they feel like I'm not really getting anything. You're right for being a platinum or whatever. It
Right.
just,
I'm
what
just
am I?
one of the other 100 platinums here.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Correct.
exactly. Yeah, love it.
Correct.
Okay, next
All
question.
right.
Do hotel reviews even matter anymore? With fake reviews, bots, AI summaries, are guests still making decisions from TripAdvisor and Google ratings? What's your thought? But wait, before you elaborate,
Yeah. Yes.
set alarm for 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, no, I do think they matter. Like I speak to, I have my two kids, they're 24 and 27, and they
Okay.
tell me, like my daughter, she just went with her boyfriend to where they go, Croatia. And
Oh,
yeah, they went to Croatia and Greece. And I said, like, where are you staying? And they said, oh, we're staying at Airbnbs, and because like the hotels were too expensive. And I said, well, how do you? I'm asking an honest question because I don't usually stay in Airbnbs. I stay at Marriott's or whatever. So I said, how do you choose an Airbnb? She goes, I go on TripAdvisor, I go on TikTok, I go on all these things. So here's our millennials and Gen Xers and stuff who are making
mm-hmm.
purchase decisions based on these things. Now, maybe they're not just basing it on one, they're basing it on a
Right.
bunch, but I think they are very important for
Mm-hmm.
sales. I know that, in Marriott, we not only look at our surveys, but we also look at, the people who do TripAdvisor reviews and things like that. And again, we don't just focus on one, we focus on multi guest response systems, however you want to
Mm-hmm.
refer to it as. And I do think they're important. And just for the record, we do look at it, we do discuss it. I mean, you know me by now. I look at these responses, and if someone says, "Hey, this person was rude," or and again, we, like obviously if it's my best employee and someone says it's rude, I find that hard to believe. I might question a little bit, but I might go to the person and say, hey, do you remember this situation or what?
Yeah.
And but we definitely use the information to make future experiences better.
Yes, I 100% agree. And also, Gen Z for sure checks at least 6 reviews before making a purchase. It is very important. However, to lean towards the question's slant, if you will, I also agree that there's a lot of garbage out there, and people are it's just so much garbage with the bots and all of that, and fake reviews that people are seeking their reviews differently. Plus, there's so many quote unquote influencers out there doing it just for the kickback.
Right.
So I think they're looking for people more that they trust, that has been honest,
Yeah.
So there that I sometimes I'll go on TripAdvisor and I'll just be like, oh my God, there's just so much, it's overwhelming, and I just click away.
Yeah.
Now I'll say this. Another thing, your kids said that they went to were staying in Airbnbs.
Hmm.
I value those reviews even more because the review goes both ways. The host reviews the guest, and the
Yeah.
guest reviews the host. So I value those reviews a little bit more, I think.
Hmm.
And I've often wondered how we could do that in our worlds, because I think people would
Yeah.
be more respectful. And the
Yeah. I
other
know.
thing that I'm doing when I'm looking at reviews too, but I'm clicking right on the bad reviews.
Hmm.
And so, because there's so many that I don't necessarily trust in the positives, I go right to the bad and I just see how many, what is it a big deal to me or not?
It's funny you said that because when I look at my surveys every day, and I look at them 24 hours a day, yes, you know me.
Yeah.
And when I see all the surveys, if it's a good one, I don't necessarily click on it because I'm just happy I got like a 10 out of 10. But if I get anything, as you know, in Marriott, if you get an 8 or a 1, it counts as 0. So
Right.
anytime I get an 8 or less, I immediately click it on because I'm like curious, like what did we do
Yeah.
wrong? And yeah, and then I react to it, and sometimes it says, "Oh, the food wasn't cold, wasn't hot, or my room didn't get cleaned every day," whatever it is. And then
Hmm.
we discuss it with the team and the managers, and we don't like point fingers, we make it a learning,
No, right,
yeah,
right. You need to do that.
yep,
I was just doing a deep dive today with a team, and they had a really bad. We're like, we're so embarrassed about this review, and I'm like, no, this review is awesome. And they're like, I don't think so. And like, the reason why it's awesome is if you take it and get better from it, that's
hmm,
awesome. And there was
right,
such good feedback that could really pinpoint us where we're missing something. So that was a really good one. One more thing I want to say about reviews is more than your actual review from the customer, more important than that is your response.
hmm,
How you respond to the customer. I had people walk in my hotel all the time looking for me. Time. Stop.
yep,
I'll finish this thought. Looking for
yep,
me because of the way I responded. They wanted to meet me, and it really gave credence. And I want to just say this last bit, that when you are responding, remember you are talking to your next guest, not the
right.
guest you're responding to. So
You're
always
absolutely
got a
right.
little promotion in it.
You're
Mhm.
absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Awesome, awesome. I've got so much more on that one, but okay. This is good. This is our final question.
Okay,
It's a doozy, everybody.
good.
Are destination fees destroying
No.
trust, or are they just part of the game? All right, let me set the alarm. Set alarm for 5 minutes.
So, truth be told, when I was opening this hotel, I did a ton of research on
Okay.
destination fees. And I'll be honest with you, not to maybe I shouldn't share this, but when you do the math, because this is going to be our 5 and 5 like untold stories of
Yes.
hotels. When you do the math, like the amount of money on destination fees is huge.
Mhm.
So if you did like I did my hotel's 360 rooms. I did 360 rooms, times whatever the occupancy, let's say like 80% occupancy, and then we were going to charge $25
Okay.
for destination fee. And the amount of money it would generate was over $2 million. So there's a lot of money to be made in destination fees. So that's the first thing I want to say.
Yes.
Number two, all the brands, including Marriott, without getting into specifics,
Hmm.
which is this is a good thing for the customer. The brands require that you have to give, I think it's like 4 or 5 times the value of the fee. So, for example,
Okay.
if yeah. So if you're charging $25, you have to offer things that are worth like $100 in give back. So, for
Right.
example, you might say, "Hey, I'll offer discount tickets to like a Broadway show, and the discount, like on average, is worth $50 or something like that." Now, they
Hmm.
would still have to purchase the ticket, but they're getting a discount. Sometimes it's like, oh, we'll give you a complimentary bicycle. Like, let's say you're at a resort, we'll give you a complimentary bicycle ride. So
Right.
you
Or
never
beach chairs. Or
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So so to the customer, some customers are like, oh, at least I'm getting something back. But on the other end, not every customer wants to go on a bike ride. Not every
Yes.
customer wants to go to a Broadway show. And without getting too deep into it, Marriott said, "Hey, Mark, you're JFK Airport. You're not really a destination, you know." And listen, you know me. I was negotiating as good as I could negotiate
Yes.
anything, and I ended up losing that
I
argument.
can't believe you lost it.
Well, but I will say this. I will say this. I could have still fought it, but again, without getting into specifics, my owners and my management company, we all talked about it, and they said, "Mark, we just think it's probably best that you stop pushing, at this point,
Yeah.
and just accept the fact we're not going to have destination fees."
Right.
So I mean, long-winded answer to your question, but I do think some people like are not really happy with it, and they think it's like a farce, and
Right.
and then some people go, yeah, I understand it, price costs have gone up, but at least I'm getting something in return for it. So
Hmm.
I think this is my own opinion. I think for resorts it's more accepted, and I think in other non-resort hotels, it's probably looked at more as a negative than a positive. That's my own
Yeah,
opinion.
it definitely has to be a destination or resort.
Yeah, yeah.
Here are my main things on
Mhm.
it.
Yeah,
And you touched on this, is it has to be valuable. When you
yeah.
say I'm going to charge a $25 resort fee or destination fee and it's a newspaper and Wi-Fi,
Mhm.
that's BS. Okay.
Yeah.
It has to be valuable. I was helping actually the Marriott Fort Lauderdale Resort and Spa about this. And one of the things I talked about is offering hand massages that gets them over to the spa that will convert your massage and spa appointments probably
Mhm.
double because you're getting people there and they feel that that's a really good value. The chairs out at the beach, the play or the museums, those are valuable things. I also was talking to a hotel here in Chicago recently about can you partner with local attractions to give you something that they don't sell, like a behind the scenes tour,
Yeah.
something that's not attainable by
Mhm.
just, anybody. What can you do that's unique, that's valuable, and also something that you can't get on your own? So you just have to really put some thought into it. It's not just a paper and Wi-Fi. It has to be valuable. And that will really, I think, change the perspective of it.
And I'll give you an example of where it rubs you the wrong way. I remember I told you I just went to New Orleans to give the president of Carnival Cruise Lines an
Yeah.
award.
Yes.
While I was that they put me up at a hotel. They paid for everything, which is great. But there were destination fees on this. It was a boutique hotel. It wasn't like a branded Marriott or anything.
We're
And
going
one of
over
and
on
I
this one.
wait. So I asked them
Yeah.
the question. I said, so what do I get for this? And they said, oh, you get like a credit or complimentary something in the spa. So I ended up going to the spa. and I was using the sauna. Wait. So I'm using the sauna and all that stuff. But then when I'm coming out, I said, "Oh, I'd like, my to know how I get my complimentary thing." And they said, "Oh, yeah, yeah." They said, anything you pick out here, we're going to give you like a $15 or $20 credit. But everything in the spot was like $50 plus. So meaning, see, they're very smart. So now they know they're going to get a $50 to $100 sale, and they're taking $15 off. That's it. But I was thinking like, oh, I'm going to get a complimentary, soap or shampoo or something like
Right,
this for
right.
$15. But I had to spend money to get that benefit, so it rubbed me the wrong way.
I 100% would be mad about that too. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would rub me the wrong way. I love that. I'm going to
yeah,
give one more thing on this. The
yeah.
number one reason why people have a negative thought about it is the way we explain it.
Yeah.
So saying destination fee doesn't sound pretty good to me, right? The fee does not sound good to me.
Right.
So this is something I was working with the Westin downtown Chicago with. That was I did a whole yes rally there, and they were
Mhm.
struggling with this
Yeah.
question. Yeah, and so I came up with some things. First of all, you can use different names. I came up with a whole list of different names for them. Could be your urban exploration includes, and it's the way you tee it up because you want to let them know that it's not optional. But here's just one example that I came up with. Your urban exploration includes curated neighborhood perks, streaming Wi-Fi, and complimentary coffee automatically included with every reservation for $25 per night. So you're
Mhm.
telling them that's what it is, and you're making it sound a lot more fun,
Yeah.
and you're sharing quickly the benefits. And then, so again, another little part could be as part of your experience, we've bundled our most resort requested privileges into one Simply Day Pass. Don't have to worry about anything. It's about how you tee it up.
I agree. The only thing I would argue is that back to the platinums and those guys, though I think if you have and this goes back to my it's more acceptable in a resort.
Yeah.
But if I was a platinum, titanium, or ambassador elite, and I travel 150 times a year, and I go to to a downtown city, downtown Chicago, downtown New York City business hotel, and
Hmm.
they gave me that spiel every time, I might be
True.
like, yeah, I don't have time to go to, whatever. So I
Yes.
think it does. I no, I totally agree. I like the way you worded that, and
Mhm.
it's so much better than saying destination fee, 100%. But I think the high level return travelers like the again ambassadors, titaniums, platinums, they probably will not appreciate the destination fee. But I think, like I said, if you're at a resort, people are just laid back and they're like, all right, yes, I'm going to get XYZ, like I'm going
Right.
to get the hand massage or I get the beach chair, and I just kind of go with the flow.
Yes, agreed. And this is the thing. I mean, you could be an ambassador and never stay in downtown New York where there's destination fees. It could be your
Right.
first time. So again, it's
Right.
really just crafting your talking points
Right.
instead of just saying, "Oh, and there's a $25 destination fee."
Yeah.
I mean, because that doesn't make people feel good.
Right. And maybe again, if you're talking to one of your customers, is maybe have a backup plan, meaning if the person coming in says, yeah, I'm not going to any curated museum or this or that, whatever, but you say, oh, well, if you don't have time to go out, we can also offer XYZ. So you have a backup plan of something that's on property that maybe they could use. So now the customer's feeling like, well, I just offered you two different options. And if you
Hmm.
can't do either, then maybe I don't get yelled at or looked upon as negative anymore.
And that's what Yes is the Answer is all about.
Right.
Preparing your team members with those options and how they can stand tall and be confident. And
Yep.
anytime you can offer a choice and put the other person in control, they're going to be much more agreeable.
Right. Remember, I think we talked last time about the definition of a moment of truth. Any opportunity to make either a positive or negative impression on a customer. So every time you're doing a check-in, every time you're talking about the destination fees, it's a moment of truth. You have an opportunity to make a positive or negative impression. If you say destination fees and give them one option and that's it only, you basically pigeonhole me. But like you said,
Hmm.
if you put the choice in the customer's hands and you present it the way you worded it comes off as maybe more of a positive than a negative.
Yes, exactly. why couldn't you just say for your top executives, whatnot, or elite status people, if this doesn't do it for you, we'll give you 1,000 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Right?
what I'm saying. And yeah, they
Yes.
probably will take it. They'll probably take it and they'll go to the room and they'll think, hey,
And
that's great.
they'll be like, heck yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it.
Yep.
Well, Mark, as always, I love every second that I'm with you. That was really good. Now, everyone out there, I would love to know what you thought. Do you like 5 for 5? I felt a little stressed. Did you feel a little stressed?
I know, me too. I felt very rushed, but that's okay. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's like Jeopardy. That's what you
Yes,
gotta,
yes. But
that's it.
that's fun. We got some good stuff out there in those and 5 for 5s. I love it.
That was great.
And for all of you tuning in, I would love to hear your take on what 5 for 5 topics you would love us to cover next time. So let us know, drop us a note, and I'll have a couple other things in the link. So take a look at the show notes. And remember, hospitality leadership isn't about having all the answers, it's about asking the right questions and saying yes to new possibilities like 5 for 5.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you so much for joining me again, Mark. I love you so much.
No, likewise. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You bet. That's a wrap for today's show. Say yes to taking action and changing the world one yes at a time. And oh, my friend, will you say yes to review, like, and subscribe? The more yeses you give, the more juicy goodness I can bring to all of you wise pineapples. Cool or cool?